We've got news about Daredevil. We've got news about Resident Evil 9. We've got some news about the sort of brand new, sort of not so brand new Arkham Asylum TV show. We've got The Boys. We've got Acolyte and so much more. But guys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and fanatics, you know what comes up first.
Welcome to the Light, Camera, Rant Podcast. Your source for the latest on movies, TV shows, and video games. Get ready for ranting, raving, and reviewing. Here is your host, Lee.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Lights, Camera, Rant. And as we're recording this, I really hope you have your glasses of milk, because I do. After what happened with the boys this week, and Acolyte, not so terrible. Actually starting to slowly come back after those first three boring episodes. And we've got so much news that's happened the past week. And something that's also, I do love this. This is going to be bigger than Oppenbarbie, Barbenheimer. It's going to beat that entirely. And it's coming at the end of this year. And ladies and gentlemen, as I'm recording as well, we've got, if you haven't already, we've got two brand new movie reviews that are coming over the next week, which I can't wait for these to release. And the big movie that we're going to be watching next week is Twister. So that review is going to come out, Twisters. So that review is coming out next week. So keep your eyes on that. That'll be coming out, and two other movies, which I'm very excited to tell you what they're going to be. But let's dive into the news as we always do. So first things first. So I can't believe it feels so long ago that this has happened. But, at the beginning of this year, we got the brand new X-Men 97 TV show, which was picture perfect, excellent to an absolute T. Now, the rumor is going around that due to the massive success that show was, and now that Marvel's broken down to Marvel Animation, Marvel Studios, Marvel TVs, now it's broken into that sections, that there's a rumor that they're currently working on a full feature-length film of X-Men 97, which, if that's indeed the case, take my freaking money. I would love to see a full feature-length film of X-Men 97. And it doesn't have to be connected to the X-Men universe at all, but I'd be so excited if they do release that. Now, this is only a rumor at this stage. We're currently working on season 2. The rumor is we're making season 2 at the end of this year. Season 2 has already been shot with all the voice. Currently, right now, they're in the early stage of season 3. So we know we're getting season 2, season 3. So if we're getting a movie as well, that'd be excellent. I would love to see X-Men 97 on the big screen in that pristine animation and crispy clear. That'd just be great. But that could be that's very rumored to be in the works. So keep an eye out for that. Also, now this I feel like has been like a Duke Nukem Forever. This has been one of those projects that's just been in development hell for so long. That yes, it's coming. Yes, it's coming. Yes, it's coming. And as I'm looking at the watch, we're still waiting. Now, this is the Metal Gear Solid live-action movie, which right now, with everything that's going on with video game adaptations to TV screen, which have gone so incredibly well, if done right, this is indeed the perfect time for a Metal Gear Solid movie, which the Metal Gear Solid fans have been claiming for a very long time. But the producer on that has insisted, saying it is in the works. It's still being worked on. No release date at the stage, but it's still in active development, which it could be anything, really. That could be, it's in active development. It's coming out 2025. It's coming out 2020-30. It's coming out 2020-35. Like, that's such a broad term of it's in the works. And look, as I mentioned, with the success of Fallout, Gran Turismo, Last of Us, Sonic, and the Super Mario movie, with them all being successes, being video game adaptations, if they can pull this off, it would be fantastic. I know it will be received very well if it's done correctly, and you've got yourself a brand new trilogy you can pump out right there, or even longer. There is so much content and so much rich story that you can do with a Metal Gear Solid movie franchise that you can keep that going on for a long time. Especially now, as I said last week, we announced the fact that Uncharted 2 is officially been announced in active development, and we should be getting that in the next 2 years. So right now is the time for this to get off the freaking ground. Now, as I mentioned, Resident Evil 9. So Resident Evil 9, we know it's coming. It's on the horizon. However, we have the official, semi-official, is that the Resident Evil 7 Biohazard director will be helming the project moving forward. So if it was anyone that was a little bit nervous or a little bit like, oh, I don't know how this is going to go because this is number 9, Resident Evil 7 director is going to be behind this. So fingers crossed this is going to be just as tense, brutal, and WTF for the entire thing. I really do hope it will. But rest assured that the Resident Evil 7 director is behind this, so fingers crossed. Also, now we know that with this particular year, there has been a lot of, as I said last week as well, last year was an absolute packed year for TV shows and movies. It was just every month going to summer, there was a new movie that was banger after banger after banger after banger. This year is very much spread out with everything, and because of, again, still semi-COVID, because the writers' strike, because the actors' strike, it's pushed a lot of things back. So what this year is, not saying we're skint or there isn't a lot of it, it's just a little bit more spacey with everything that's coming out. Now, one of the projects we are getting this year from Marvel, because we're only getting one Marvel live-action movie, we are getting all the TV shows, is Eyes of Wakanda. Now, essentially, Eyes of Wakanda is going to be an animated TV show that is to highlight the past Black Panthers before what we've seen in the Marvel TV shows and movies so far. So it's meant to highlight that. Oh shit! But the director has said, one of the creators on the show has said this will tie the MCU moving forward, and there is a lot to come in it. Damn, I got that comment in the back of my throat. Oh shit! That this is, they've said that this, Ryan Coogler has said that this will tie into the MCU very much because he is behind this project. Same thing how he was behind Black Panther 1 and 2. So because he has said that, because that has been a discussion, I'm really excited to see what this is going to be about and how this is going to be presented and how this is going to tie into everything. Because San Diego Comic-Con is right around the corner, so whether or not that will be announced in Black Panther 3 is up in the air, especially with Avengers 5 and Avengers 6 all currently up in the air on what's going to happen with that at all. The final details, besides getting told, delay again. But Eyes of Wakanda is scheduled for December this year. Now, this is another project that was announced that for a long time ago. So this was announced semi-time when the Penguin TV show was announced. They also know that in the Penguin TV show was going to be set in the Matt Reeves universe, and also what was going to be set in the Matt Reeves universe was going to be this Arkham TV show that was all about Arkham Asylum. Has been really recently announced the fact that it will no longer be moving forward, that there may be a different project that may happen that's associated with Arkham, but this particular one is no longer moving forward and it's back to the drawing board. I'm kind of disappointed because I would love to see a Matt Reeves TV show that doesn't contain Batman, that's all about Arkham Asylum, especially very much so like Batman Arkham video game, like the rich history that about Asylum and how deranged it is, seeing everything, how corrupt, how dirty it is. That would be fantastic, especially in the environment that is what Matt Reeves has created. But look, at least we're getting Penguin. I guess you can't have it all. Disappointing, but sadly, it is what it is. Now, Bridgerton fans, unfortunately, I got some terrible news for you, ladies and gentlemen. Is that shooting has been delayed and people pushed back. This will now be shot in 2025. So we're currently looking at 2026 before we see Bridgerton season 4. So you're going to have to hold on to everything that happened, wait a little bit, And yeah, you're looking at 1.5 years, 2 years before we're going to see this hit Netflix again. So you're going to have to hold out a little bit longer. Another TV show, though. Now, so Daredevil Born Again originally was booked out for 18 episodes. And I remember thinking, holy shit, 18 episodes of Daredevil in one season. That is insane. Take my freaking money. I love it. Now, after the reshuffling, the redo, the remess, the rebuild, if you will, everything that came into it. So now what happened is that Daredevil Born Again has been split into 2 seasons. We're getting 8 episodes one season, 8 episodes the next season. So it's still going to be booked in as there's 18 episodes, but now it's going to be breaking up into season 1 and season 2 instead of just one continuous long season. So Daredevil Born Again season 1 has already been shot. That is going to be rumored to be premiering in February. But however, it's reported the fact they will be going to go. They will be start shooting this at the end of the year for season 2. So if that's indeed the case, we are going to be getting February season 1 of Daredevil Born Again, and then season 2 the following year, which I'm happy with that. I'm fine. If we get Feb to Feb of Daredevil Born Again, you take my money, I am all in. Now, this has been, how can I put this? This has been talked about. This has been rumored. There's been discussions. And the time has finally come for Mr. Cena to finally hang up the boots and call it a day. So recently we just had Money in the Bank pay-per-view with WWE, which we got a surprise appearance from John Cena, which has announced his retirement. He will be officially retiring from the WWE. So what will be happening is that he will be appearing at the Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, and he'll also be appearing at WrestleMania next year. That will be his last WrestleMania. Now, he did say in the press conference afterwards that he will still be wrestling for the rest of the year 2025, but that is the end. So you're looking at the last time I see John Cena will roughly be about December, November next year, but he will be not moving forward, and that's it. And that's, in recent interviews that John Cena has spoken about his retirement, that's pretty much what his plan is. And look, as we've seen with wrestlers multiple times, injuries, something worse, or it's not the final match, or it's not the final match, or it's not the final match again and again. It's good. I'm just really happy to see that the plethora of his career, what he's done for the fans, everything, the whole legacy of John Cena. He's ending on his own terms, and he's fine, and that's it. And it's up to him, and he's good health. He's got Hollywood, so he's got the time. And I know I saw a whole bunch of comments of people being like, oh, they say they're going to retire, but they were going to come back and later on. And look, I think John Cena, I think he will probably do something very similar to The Rock. Like, he will go away. He will go away. Like, he won't wrestle a match for like another 10 years. He won't wrestle for another 10 years. It will be a long time. And he might come back for one match, like one big match with somebody. But, at least he will be retiring a lot earlier and he'll be done. So I think ticket sales for Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, and WrestleMania just went up the roof, especially if you can say that you were one of the people who were the last people to see John Cena at WrestleMania. That's a big thing. And then, obviously, the following year, we're going to see John Cena be inducted in the Hall of Fame, which that just sounds old in me saying the fact that he's going to retire. He's going to retire from it. It's just scary to think about that we're going to see John Cena be inducted to the Hall of Fame. And I know right now that everyone's talking about who's going to induct him, who is his last match. Is he going to lose? I have no doubt he's going to lose at WrestleMania. But I don't want it to be like a Kurt Angle thing, which I don't think will be his last match at WrestleMania, how he versed Baron Corbin. I just hope it's going to be like, I know we've seen John Cena and Randy Orton multiple times, but it would be semi good to see Randy Orton and John Cena one more time before they call it a curtain. But at the same time, it's like John Cena is still wrestling after WrestleMania, so it's hard. What's going to be the final match? And I'd like to say hello to Gaming Future. Let's go. Thank you very much for going past the YouTube chat, man. I do appreciate that. But there's so much speculation on what's going to happen with John Cena and what's going to be happening with him, what the matches are. There's a whole other thing I saw people saying, is he going to, should he win the belt? Should he win that one more time? Should he beat Ric Flair's record? To me, yes. I think he should win the WWE Championship one more time and beat Ric Flair's record. Take that with him because it will be a very long time. Look, it might be Roman Reigns, but at the same time, I think it's going to be a very long time before someone's going to get up there and actually pass that 16 World Championship record altogether. So I do hope he wins more time. I hope he does pass it. That'd be fantastic. I just trying to think of other people he could verse. We've seen John Cena versus Cody Rhodes, especially Cody Rhodes now would be fantastic to see. Yeah, I'm trying to think who else. There's just a lot of plethora of last matches. I guess the next 12 months for 2025 with John Cena will be last matches. So let me know in the comments. Who do you want to see John Cena versus for the last time? Do you think he should win the belt, or you just you're sad that it's finally ending? I just feel old. Come on. Feel very old. Moving on. So, now I totally forgot this was in development. So there's a brand new Terminator Zero anime TV show that's dropping in August on Netflix by the same studio that made Ghost in the Shell, and it looks sleek. I remember seeing the announcement, but I didn't look twice into it. And like the photos, the trailer, everything, I'm like, this looks insane. Even the poster, I'm like, this looks sleek. So the story is, it's going to be 8 episodes long. It's going to be set in Japan. But just the way it's going to look, I just think this is going to be fantastic. And everyone I've spoken to, friends, are like, oh, watch this. They're all pumped for it. It's just, I know, it's just something I never thought twice about. I was like, oh, Terminator, like anime, nah, can't think of it. But now seeing this, I'm like, this is going to be terrifying. This is going to be like so weird, so intense. Especially if it's done with that same care, it's going to look fantastic. So that is coming on August 29th. It's dropping on Netflix, and there's no part 1 or part 2. It's going to be all 8 episodes in one hit. So get ready for Terminator in Japan. Now, this is what I was talking about. So I thought this was hilarious. So last year we had the iconic, the massive Barbenheimer, Oppen Barbie mashup, which of course was Oppenheimer and Barbie coming out at the same time. So now we have the brand new one, which is Wicked Gladiator, or Wicked Gator. I don't know how you're going to pronounce it. It sounds terrible. So the upcoming Wicked movie and the Gladiator 2 movie is coming out the same day in November, on November 22nd. So these movies are going to go back head to head. And look, my money is on Gladiator 2. Now, yes, Wicked is a musical. Yes, there's a massive, massive fan base for Wicked, but the cast for Gladiator is absolutely stacked for what we're getting in Gladiator. The fact that you got Denzel Washington, you got Pedro Pascal, Russell Crowe's coming back. Like, there's a lot of meat for Gladiator 2. We did get some photos in the past week of Gladiator 2, and they look really good. We still haven't got a trailer yet. Actually, I don't think we even got the poster yet. I think we just got the behind-the-scenes photos, nothing else. But, yeah, these two movies are going head-to-head. And look, another prediction I did also say, I was talking to another friend about this the other day, is right now, my prediction is that Deadpool Wolverine will become the highest grossing movie of this year, and nothing after that is going to come to that heights. Now, like, I don't think Gladiator, I don't think Wicked is going to come anywhere near Deadpool Wolverine or Dune or Inside Out. I don't think they're going to reach that height. But if this builds momentum, very much so, it could be. And I know a lot of people were saying to me, I know a lot of people were like, oh, it's Deadpool Wolverine's an R-rated movie. It's not going to make that much money because Inside and Out was PG. I'm like, yes, that's very true. However, have a look at Oppenheimer. That was MAR rated, and that still became the second or third highest grossing movie of the year. So it doesn't matter. People will go to see this. And there was a lot riding on Deadpool and Wolverine. Gaming Future, let's go. Deadpool is my favorite character. Dude, I'm right there. Deadpool is one of my favorites. I can't wait for Deadpool Wolverine. The promotional tour is starting now. There is I've never seen a movie like this. It's got 20 different posters for Deadpool Wolverine. They've started international. They've started, I think they were in Singapore or Hong Kong starting to do that travel. And it's going to be massive. It's predicted it's going to be a shit ton of money. And I just hope it lives up to it. The cameos that we're going to see in this, Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine, which we thought would never happen again. Seeing Hugh Jackman as Wolverine in the iconic suit in the MCU, I know I would have never made that bet. I never made that bet. But then again, we did get Patrick Stewart as Charles Xavier in Doctor Strange 2, so you never know what could happen. But yes, this is also coming at the end of this year. For out of these two movies, I'm really excited to see Gladiator 2. I have no idea how Russell Crowe is going to be involved in it, but we'll find out, won't we? And not to mention, I'm pretty sure he said he's a bit confused how he's going back in that as well. But, each their own. You never know what might happen or if it will make sense. All right, so that's the biggest news that's happened the past week. Let's dive into Acolyte. Acolyte, teach and concept, if you will. Now, again, as I said the last few weeks, is that Acolyte, episode 1, 2, and 3, just watch a supercut of it. To me as well, I'm not going to go back and watch the Acolyte first 3 episodes. I'm only going to kick off episode 4. So we're at episode 6. There's 2 episodes left of the Acolyte, and the reception for Acolyte has been absolutely mixed. Some people are like, yeah, it's different. Other people are like, yeah, it's too different. Don't like it. Don't like this. Don't like that. Star Wars fans can be, how's the best way I can put this? Can be a little bit toxic, a little bit diverse, and can really hit hard if they don't like something. And I've said too, I found the first episode boring. I found the second episode boring. I found the third episode boring. And then 4th episode was just bang, smash right in the mouth. Let's go, baby. And so this is picking up the aftermath from the last episode. And because of that, 5th episode, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, boring. The 5th one, excellent. This is where pick up. So, as we saw at the last episode, we saw Osha and May. Also, I'm going to say this. Spoilers, left, right, and center. So if someone says, oh, I haven't watched it already, too bad. It's been out for 3 to 4 days now, so I can't hold responsible. But if you have seen it, then please stay and watch. So as we know in the last episode, we saw Osha and May swap places. So May is with Sol, Osha is with the Queen. And it's interesting, this TV show is obviously going a lot about the history and the depth of the Sith, the power of 2, what it means to be a Sith wielder, what it means to be part of the dark side. the light side, Jedi corrupt, and it's interesting. Probably, I would say one of the most interesting things about this TV show is it's just showing you, as a kid, you always want to be. I want to be a Jedi. Pieces of kid. I want to be Luke Skywalker. I want to be a hero. But when you go back to like episode 1, and there was a plethora of Jedi, and just and again, when you go deeper into it, you just like, wow, they were so foolish. They were so cocky about their power. They ignored things, and that was what led their downfall. Which Luke says it perfectly in episode 8. The rise and the fall of the Jedi because of a Sith user was right under the nose. Was it? Sorry, Gaming. I'm going to have an interview about Act Sunday, Tuesday. I am going to have an interview about. Oh, that's good, man. Let's get an interview for Gaming Future. Let's go on YouTube. That's good, man. But what type of interview is it going to be as well, man? What type of review is it going to be? But watching the shows like this, and so we're seeing the opposite. Sorry, we're seeing the opposite dynamic in this TV show. And Saul, he's looking broken. He looks beaten, so defeated as a Jedi. Not to the point where he's going to turn into a Sith, but you just see that his entire team's wiped out. There's a Sith user. He nearly lost Osha, and he still won't tell us. We still don't know what happened on Brendok, which is really annoying to me. I'm like, what happened? I'm sure he did something, and he slaughtered everybody because he wanted to take the girls. And Cormier does actually say, are you wrestling with your darkness? Because he can feel it. So he feels absolutely beaten and defeated, and you can see it in him. So good. And then on the flip side, we see Osha, who's they're talking to each other, and he's telling her about the dark side. He's telling her about the power of 2, what everybody wants. We also find out that he used to be a Jedi. Probably one of the most intriguing things is that we do see him with his shirt off, which, if you look at the internet, people are like all over that, where he's got this scar on his back. And it's funny, when they show that scar, only a few minutes earlier, we see Ventress. We see her. Ventress. I feel like I'm sure her name. We see her that she has a lightsaber whip, which I've seen the hate for it. I've seen the positive about it. But yeah, like seeing a lightsaber whip, that's cool as shit. I don't care if it's not canon or whatever. We haven't seen that yet, so that's cool. But she's got a whip, and it almost looks like this. What's on his back is the same thing that he's been. And he says, his master got rid of him and left him to the side. So I was like, that would be a good connection. I failed. So we might see that in episode 7, 8, going into the last 2 weeks of this. So I'll be really cool, really good to know about that. So I'd like that little backstory. And we also, again, struggling. Saul does find out that it's actually May that's on the ship. He does actually say to her, like, I've had a long time to think about what I want to say to you, and there is so much I'm going to get off my chest. I'm going to tell you right now. And then we leave the ship, and I'm like, should have seen that coming. I really should have seen that he was going to say all that, and then it was going to leave. I'm like, of course you're going to do that. And then obviously on the flip side, we see that Vanessa, she goes to the planet where Saul was trying to hunt him down, and she does discover that something terribly has gone wrong. Can't really tell if she's more like, oh my God, I got to help Saul, or oh my God, something she knows who it's going to be. So that's a big question mark going next episode. And then we see, can we talk about these helmet, how it's very much like those old Jedi training ones. Well, actually, it's not old in this one because it's now how you can't see the vision and you just have to feel the Force, which is why he was able to beat the other Jedi so much, because he didn't feel anger, fear, or nervous. He just went in and just another day at the office, taking down Jedi. Nothing new here, but he does do it. So, and we see that Osha does put the helmet on. It ends with her breathing heavily into the episode, and heavily goes into it at the end of episode. So this episode does add a little bit more backstory. It does add something really cool as the lightsaber whip, seeing Saul defeated. So as we're getting into the final, we are running into the last 2 episodes, being the fact like we're gonna have to find out what happened to Brendock. We are gonna have to find out who Queen's Jedi was, why he failed, how he got out. Are we gonna see a complete flip where May actually turns into the good person? Osha is actually the bad person. Are we going to see that type of flip? That would be really cool. And how is this going to lead and give you promise more into for episode 1 in Star Wars? And is there going to be episode 2? Sorry, season 2. Nothing's been announced, especially how divisive this show has been. So let's keep that in mind as well. But this episode isn't boring. This episode isn't boring. It is better coming off the back of that explosive episode 5. It's got that momentum, but the show really needs to finish strong. It really needs to have that win and describe it. Really needs to have that. And I really hope it does, because I know some people would tell me like, oh, Lee, it doesn't need to have it. It's already pretty good. It's already made its impact. I'm like, well, no, because you're going to remember the good and the bad from a TV show, and whether or not you're going to go rewatch it. Right now, we've had 70% bad, 30% actual pure gold. Where with Ahsoka, it was like 90% gold. And for me, I'm gonna go watch Ahsoka before I can watch Acolyte. But being there's 2 episodes left, that's going to be a big question going in. It's funny, actually, because, we've got 2 more weeks left of Acolyte. We've got 2 more weeks left of The Boys. And then we've got Twisters next week. And then 2 weeks, we've got Deadpool 3. So right now, next few weeks, we are going to be recording banger after banger for the entire rest of the week. But the Acolyte TV show, yeah, I know. It's funny. Like, it's not how Acolyte TV show is not how I thought it was going to go. What's been so far, but I'd love to know what everyone thinks about it. Like, do you think this was a boring episode? Do you think it's gone down again? How do you think it's going to work? Or have we already seen this show peaked and you no longer give a shit? Which, if you do, completely understandable. But yeah, this episode still not amazingly strong for the last episode. Of course, we know why. But still solid, still better than episode 1, 2, and 3. Still a lot more is happening. It's set up the final good, but what's going to happen next is a big question. Okay, all right, okay. Let's talk about The Boys. We need to talk about The Boys, because that was just God freaking damn, The Boys. Whoo! That's I was not expecting a hero, and I don't mind where you are. I drink my milk. This is not how I thought that episode was going to go. What we saw, what happened. Now, we like to let you know, as I did watch this with my partner. So I was watching it. My partner was in the bedroom, and she, at 3/4 of the way through, she's like, "What the fuck are you watching? What is this?" And I was like, "Oh, you know what? I'm not 100% sure either." So, but it's this is the good shit. Yeah, this is what we want. So, episode 7. So what we get is that Mother's Milk want to go, and a team want to go to this party that Tech 9 is having with all the government officials. It's going to be what was this? Game Future, let's go. He's nasty, that knockoff, but it does look good. Yeah, so so Mel's very good. They want to go to this party with all these government officials, and of course, where the 7 is going to be with Homelander. But to get in there, for some random reason, which we do find later on, Web Weaver, Spider-Man of the Boys universe, which has a sickening ability. It doesn't come out from his hands. It comes out right from above his butthole. It's sick, and he's also a drug addict as well. Oh, nasty. So we get Huey who goes in the suit, and he's going to infiltrate. He's like, "Yeah, I'm fine. My dad passed away last week. I'm going to be fine. It's going to be great." I'm like, I don't think he's fine. I don't think anyone thinks he's fine, but he's going to go into this mission to see Tech Nut. So Tech Nut also meets Web Weaver, where she thinks he does. This is, thank you so much for coming on to be, thank you for coming on to be a sidekick. So you're like, okay, that's what we think that's going to happen. Going on, and we're like, okay. And then, of course, at the same time, Butcher's still got Samir, and he's still trying to get him to make the virus. Now, we do find out why Samir does tell Butcher why he can't make the virus, because if they make it as strong as much to kill Homelander, it can make it as strong as for it to go airborne and basically a global pandemic of wiping out soups entirely. And you can't do that. Now, he starts struggling with that, which we will get back to. But the main focus for this episode was Huey and the gang in this messed up episode. So Tech Knight takes Huey, the Web Weaver, into his dungeon, that type of dungeon, which some weird shit happens. Ashley also gets involved with it, and that just gets even weirder. It's very much a hero-gasm episode. They really pushed everything in this. They really pushed the weird, the wonderful, and effed up in this episode. So you feel sorry for Huey the whole time, and it just gets more messed up. Unfortunately, Ted Knight does die in the end, which we do find out what happened, and which was well deserved on what happened to that man. Yeah, dude, Ashley. Yeah, Ashley, she really went to she really went on town on Huey, and he's absolutely mortified at the end of this episode what happens to him. Nothing as in physical, but as in just traumatic is what happens to Huey. And I'm just watching him. I'm like, I feel so sorry for this poor son of a bitch. I'm like, God damn. Nothing like getting tickled and getting your face wiped across. You're like, oh, gross on that. So we do, so that all happens to Huey. We also see that Mother's Milk killed Sister Sage, which we believe she takes a bullet in the head, which also makes her, a little bit more spaced out than what it was going to be. She becomes, after that happens to her, she becomes like the highlight. There's a scene with her and Newman where she's like talking, before she gets shot in the head, she's like, oh no, this is what you gotta do, girl power. And then later on, after, she's like, let's stuff down food, and Newman doesn't realize that she's been shot in the head, so she nods to her, and then she's like nods back, and then him nodding, she doesn't realize she's stuff. That's hilarious. I love that. And you see also, because Sister has been like that in the head, and she's feeling like this, Homelander starts cracking. He starts losing it. He starts losing control because he can't get his words right. He hasn't got the people on his side, and what he needs is Newman, and she brings everything together, all together. And obviously, Firecracker episode, she feels like she's left in the dark. She's not smart. Everyone needs to know what's going on. Sister Sage treats her like crap. Don't know what's going to happen with Sister Sage in the next episode. Whether she heals or that's it. Like, she's done. That's how she's going to be forever. So that's the big question. What's going to happen with that? So that does happen, which we'll get to that weird part later. And of course, what happens is when Mother's Milk does shoot Sister Sage, he has a panic attack and he collapses. But with the help of Kimiko and with A-Train takes him to hospital, saves him, and we get this little bit with this kid like smiles at A-Train, is like, you've done the right thing and you're a hero. And A-Train feels that a lot, and you can tell he loves that, and that's what he wants to do. wants to be a hero again, not just a pawn in the 7 trying to survive. Like, he wants to be a hero again. He wants to do the right thing and save the right people, which is fair. Good, that's what he needs to do. So we get that, and we find out he has a panic attack. Unfortunately, right now with Kimiko, Frenchie is not seeing her, and that's just sad. So Frenchie's not in this episode, but you feel so much for Kimiko. And Starlight still can't get her powers back. She's still having performance issues, if you will. Huey is traumatized, but does get saved, and he does say to her, he's like, I'm not alright. I've actually got everything what's wrong with me, and he's feeling it. He's getting better, A-Train. Yeah. Gaming Future, let's go on YouTube. He's getting better. He's getting better at Train, and yes, Doogie on Ashley as well. But yeah, he's getting better, and I feel terrible because I feel like it's gonna be one of those things where he gets better, he does the right thing, he's the hero, like, yeah, and then he's just gonna be taken out, and when he's in the high, because he does the right thing, Homelander's gonna catch him and probably rip him to shreds when he's going, no, I did the right thing, screw you. I feel like that's gonna happen to A-Train, unfortunately. That's one of my bold predictions. So yeah, here he does too. So like he does say he's not right, he's not feeling well, especially after what happened. Now Butcher, we know Butcher's been seeing Becca. He's seeing Joe Kessa, and we think he's real. He's helping Butcher, but we find out the fact he is only in his imagination. Both they are in his head, and we had this flashback with every scene with Kessler. Is the fact it's been fake, it's all been in his head, and Kessler does actually say to him, he's like, I'm part of you because you've got a V tumor cooking up in your brain, and I'm literally from your brain. Your brain's told me to come out to you like this. I'm actually dead. You didn't save my life, you piece of shit. And if I'm telling that you want to help make this virus takes out all soups, I'm literally telling you what you need to hear, and Becca's telling the other side. Now, of course, if he does make that serum that can take out Homelander, that will take out Starlight, they'll take out Kimiko. It's too much. So, that's what it's showing with right now, and that's how the episode slightly ends. That's one big thing, and then we also get the real big of God damn. So Firecracker talks to Homelander. Homelander was like, oh, where were you? He's like, are you the leak? Not this, and Firecracker's like, no. I just want to tell you how much I'm loyal to you. And, I was on a podcast with 100 fans, and now I'm on the news. I've got millions of fans, all that. And so she's slowly starts unzipping herself, and Homelander's like, I'm not sexually attracted to you. Don't bother. And then she's like, obviously, like, this isn't about, this is something different. And she squirts him with milk. And if you're watching right now, we've got the photo up of what he looks like. And Homelander looks mortified by it. He's like, oh, what? How did you? Yeah, you're not pregnant. And she says the fact that she's been taking tablets to get it to happen. And then that's when we get the wonderful scene of him enjoying Firecracker, enjoying the milk, if you will. As we always see in every single scene. And wow, just, when you just like looking at things, you're like, wow, this cannot get weirder. This just got weirder a whole lot more. I'm just watching it. I'm literally just watching it going, good freaking Lord, what am I watching? What is going on that this is on TV, and this is premium writing on what's happening. So I'm so excited what's going to happen in the next 2 episodes, and just the fallout from that. And again, it's going to be one of those things where, if Firecracker dies, is this going to be the thing that makes Homelander fully snap and go nuts? Is that going to be the trigger? Not to mention, with he's going to go the trigger is, what's going to happen with his son? What's going to happen with him? Is he going to be back on Butcher's side? Is it going to be a battle between Homelander and Butcher? Is that how it's going to end? But we've got 2 episodes left. We still haven't seen all the good heroes from Gen V. They're currently going around. Or is it Gaming Future? Let's go on YouTube. Oh no, Homelander. I don't like the character, but I do like Anthony Starr. I don't think anyone likes Homelander. Homelander is just effed up all the way up in the head. Anthony Starr does a fantastic job, and he should win some awards for his performance for Homelander. It's fantastic, and I do feel bad for the guy because he is playing one of the best villains. Period. For playing Homelander, for what his performance with Homelander has been, he's up there with when you talk about like the top 50 villains of all time. Yeah, top 50. Oh, yeah, I'd say top 50 villains of all time. Homelander is going to be up there, and because of Anthony Starr's performance, he's done such a good job bringing this character to life and how messed up everything has been so far. I do feel bad because the guy did mention recently how he said how sometimes he gets treated a little bit harshly because people associate him with Homelander and like can't separate the two. I'm like, that's rough. The man's just playing a great role and does a great job. And that's a testament to him because of how good he's been. So, and we know that this all has to end with Homelander dying. We all know that, and it has to happen. But yeah, what's going to happen in the last 2 episodes? What's going to happen with Gen V Season 2? The fact that we're going to it sucks the fact that the final season of The Boys is not going to come out for another 2 years. Like, we're not going to get the final season. Look, the big final with everything that's going to happen is not going to come out until 2026. That's the bullshit thing. And I bet you the last episode of The Boys is just going to be insane. I'm just going to be like, this is fantastic and bullshit all at the same time. But this episode, just, oh, look, you can't, look at a soundboard, turn it up to 11. Nah, take the button off, spin it at 360 degrees so we can reach up to 18. Like, that is just how effed up this episode is. And I do understand from a lot of people saying, this is just messed up. This, they're just doing this for the gore factor. They're just doing it for the shock. I get that. I understand. But I feel like if you're coming into this, you know what you're getting involved in. You know what's going to happen 110%. So you can feel it. You know what's going to happen. So that's, you have the well of what's going to happen. But look, ladies and gentlemen, this episode was beautiful. It was fantastic. It was effed up. It's everything it needs to be. And again, as you're watching The Acolyte, as you're watching The Boys, you see grade A writing and then you see subpar writing that's trying to improve, and it just stands out so much more. But look, you let me know. What do you think of this last episode of The Boys? Do you think I missed anything? What I did miss? And are you excited for the final? Do you think Homelander is going to die at all, or who is going to be the major character that's going to die at the end of the season? It's going to happen in 2 weeks. I also just realized I didn't change that. But well, is what it is. And look, ladies and gentlemen, as always, and I'd like to say thank you very much for Judy's for come. Judy's come on the Twitter. Sorry, Twitch. God damn it, Lee. It's late. Maybe it's my brain. And thank you very much for Gaming Future. Let's go. Really appreciate you past the stream. Definitely hit that subscribe button. So it'd be great to talk to you guys more. And as always, until the next one, happy ranting.
Thanks for listening to Lights, Camera, Rant. If you like the show, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. While you're at it, leave us a rating and review, and be sure to tell your friends. Until next time, happy ranting.